So, healing advice. One thing I didn't go into in that much detail in my last soul loss episode just now with the traits is the actual OCD chameleon aspect, which was really important to me, which I then would sort of trace back more to the war history of my family than to my personal soul loss. However, my weakness in character certainly was a part of my soul loss experience, totally. I did not become necessarily OCD, obsessive compulsive, that much. I think basically because I was too lazy for that. I don't have the stamina to be like that ever. So that's just a side note right there. A lot more can be said. Healing advice. Take your time. Most important of all, take the time and follow find advice, find something that will help you follow your star, maybe even. That's a really silly thing to say, but I mean it. It's like I've had help in really significant moments where if it hadn't been for that, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be doing this, all of this. I'm hoping at some point that people out there will really respond as to, okay, this is useful. I've had a couple of comments like that already, mostly when I'm in general talking about personal sovereignty. And that's, I think, definitely one of the mainstays of my healing program that I've used for myself is striving for personal sovereignty. So that's all I can really talk about, of course, is what I have done for myself and how it is applied and how it has proven useful or maybe not, I've done many things that haven't really been particularly instrumental at furthering, there's a whole lot of healing tools out there that actually do nothing really more than provide temporary relief for the thing. So that's another one. When I say take your time, the second thing that I want to say is experiment. Yes, pick tools, pick things, but personal sovereignty. So my advice to you, don't depend for any really serious length of time on any product. You can try everything, try anything, but it is so easy, especially when we're in a state of fundamental imbalance, to get addicted. And I don't mean addicted in the sense of really a drug. I mean, I can get addicted to a crystal. And if that's where I leave it, it's not my style. And it may be okay for a while, for a few months even, to walk around with rose quartz. For example, rose quartz is a really nice example. I have a pendant here. This is my little rose quartz pendant that's really blissful to use. It's beautiful. I love it. It's wonderful. And the moment I even just hold it in my hand, I can feel its relaxing effect on me. It smooths out all the wrinkles in my life. It makes me go rose-tinted glasses, literally. And there are moments when I have a long work day or I'm on the road with husband for a long time, I will wear this. And whatever I do becomes filled with meaning, filled with purpose, just like that. It's ease of grace of work, and so I can keep it up much better. And because other people also depend on me being there, I tend to just take the easy way out really and just go for the rose quartz. Why not? But I will not wear this the whole time, because also at a certain point I just separate myself. I detach myself from the energy because I want to do things myself again. I want to, not be that emotionally involved, not be constantly colored by that. So that's just one teeny tiny example of how something simple like a rose quartz, I would bless anyone who, I think there are not enough people using the rose quartz. You can actually get them at the garden center. At least I can over here. So I've put several big crystals in my garden and they're in my front room and so on and so forth. And I love them, it's great. But don't depend, because then the progress you're making comes from the thing and not from you. Only partly from yourself, which is okay for a short while. And then after a while, you want to sort of get the, integration on your own end again. You want to see your own path, don't you? So I think that's really important. That's really part of this sovereignty approach to self-healing, self-diagnosis, whatever that is, As to any of these, like the soul loss and the lost twin situation, they're quite similar in many ways, because the lost twin has experienced a soul connection when they incarnated. There's a soul link there. That's also there in the soul loss situation, where something happened in a past life, probably, or potentially, and there's a fragment of the awareness that's really necessary, a function within the awareness that is immobilized in that field, in that area, in that past life, or whatever it is. It's a really weird situation, and none of that and none of the twin business really can actually be measured or repaired ever, really. It's a fact of life, and these two scenarios are really priceless because we learn immensely from them. And I think that I have certainly learned to move into dimensions like the soul dimension that I have mentioned several times on my channel already, which is like a field where integration has resolved, is a fact, really. Much more can be said about that. That's one way. There are many, many, many ways, many of which are really productive, and many of them are actually a lot of work. However, if we really do the work, self-love, self-compassion, taking time, placing personal sovereignty right up at the top of the list of priorities, watching nice channels, looking out for yourself, watching the channels that actually give you what you need in the self-love and self-compassion, self-worth type atmosphere. All that can still help a lot. Find information, work with information, use discernment. Don't jump to conclusions. It's one thing that people tend to do, because, I want a solution now, so this is it. I'm a lost twin survivor. Maybe you're not. Maybe it's really soul loss. Maybe it's another dimension that I haven't found yet, because humans, complexity, so there may be so much more going on. Leave room open for more possibilities. So yeah, and if at all possible, enjoy the ride. Yeah, take the things that empower you. Go for the things that make you feel stronger. And whenever your emotions tend to overwhelm you, that's maybe also one thing that I might say, because I am very good at being completely overwhelmed by emotions. I still am. Still happens to me. make room for the emotion, because likely is not, the emotion was there already a long time before, and it just very badly needs to be heard. The more terrifying the anxiety and the rest of it, the frustration and all the rest of it is, the likelier it is that it's been there a long time. Only you have never been in the situation where you could pay attention to it. So make room for that, and make room for other things as well. Work with it. Work with it instead of against it. Don't fight yourself. Dull, really. And certainly try to, see things from different perspectives. Improve the wideness of the perspectives, because there's a lot more going on than meets the eye. And we're all here to learn. So lots of luck to you. And I'm so on your team if you're here for this. Wow. And yeah, a lot more can be said, but I'm going to leave it at this. Thank you once again for watching and for being here. And final thought, enjoy the sunshine, enjoy whatever there is to be enjoyed. Enjoy the seasons, nature, that kind of thing. Write, journal, if that appeals to you. Keep track of changes and things. I'm not going to mention the tarot cards or the astrology. I haven't mentioned them, okay? Thank you. See you soon. Bye-bye.